And good morning. I'm your friend Scotty Ray. It is Friday, a little bit cooler. It's temperatures wavered back and forth. We're down to 59 now as we begin this Friday. But get this, we will climb some 31 degrees warmer. Oh, we'll reach a high of 90 before this Friday ends. We do have rain in the forecast late Saturday night. Possibility of some severe weather. We'll watch all of that. That's in your forecast. We got details on that coming up in just a little bit after we go through headlines. Welcome. We want to thank Environment Masters for sponsoring our studio, and we'd also like to welcome in WMOX Radio. We're out there on that dial where you can pick us up there as well. Good morning. Hope you've got a cup of coffee. We've got some stirring. We're going to get some new cups in a moment. We'll get that going at the top of the hour there. Odie's off into some donuts. Y'all be careful. He could be on a sugar high by 7 o'clock. We'll be right back as we get all that going. Let's go to Collinsville now. Get our good word of the day to get this weekend started.
In Genesis 15, we see one of the strangest covenant ceremonies in all the Bible. Now, a covenant is typically between two people, but in this situation, one person was conspicuously absent, and that reality changes everything. Now, Abram had questions. He was childless, aging, and the promise of an heir, it seemed impossible. So God brought him outside and said, I want you to look up at the stars. That's how numerous your offspring will be. And the Bible says Abram believed and God counted it as righteousness. But here's what happens next that changes everything. God made a covenant with Abram, and in that culture, both parties would walk between the divided animals, pledging their commitment. But when the time came, God put Abram into a deep sleep. He left him out. A smoking fire pot, a blazing torch representing God alone, passed between the pieces. I mean, can you envision that scene? Abraham didn't walk through, God did alone. And that was God's way of saying that this covenant rested entirely on His faithfulness, God's faithfulness, not on Abram's. God was saying, I'll keep this promise even if you fail. This is on me. We spend so much energy trying to earn God's promises, right? We think if we pray enough or serve enough or sin less, then God will come through. But look, that's backwards. God's promises aren't contingent on your perfection. They're secured by His character. So you don't have to perform your way into His blessing or maintain your way into His favor. When Abram was asleep, completely passive, God made the covenant. So your rest, not your striving, is often where God works most powerfully. So today, whatever promise you're clinging to, remember, God walked through the fire alone. His faithfulness holds you, not your performance. You can rest in that. Change begins in you.
The Change Begins in You is brought to you in part by Piggly Wiggly of Collinsville, Patrick Allen Companies, Mitchell Tire and Wrecker in Collinsville, and Mowdy Cabinetry. Hope you enjoyed that message this morning. Maybe it hit home. Jerome Lee is up. Miss Wiley joins us. Pat and Jim Coker up at it. Diane. Good to see y'all. Mike Dallas also stirring today. Diane Keaton, as we know, passed away. Was it last week? At the age of 79, she won a bunch of Oscars. And as we went through the movie, she did more what we would call chick flicks that I've never watched, but still a great actress. As I dug back into this, it kept hitting on me. She was married to somebody I knew. Al Pacino, do y'all remember that? They've officially said that she died of pneumonia is the cause of her death. And I knew there was something a little odd. Who is the oddest actor that you can think of, Odie? And I put this guy at the very top of odd, and then a little bit more odd than that, as if you would have a thermometer that went 1 through 10. She was like best buddies, and I guess dated him and maybe lived with him for a while, for about 4 or 5 years. Woody Allen.
He's a weird one.
That is the strangest cat that I know.
Yeah.
All types of accusations about that fella and what he may or may not done, but she did date him. But she officially died of pneumonia, if you did not know that. Nestle, y'all know the company I'm talking about, going to cut 16,000 jobs, and they'll all be white-collar jobs. What else do we have this morning? Oh, gold, still climbing. Who has some? The price at this point this morning, as I watch it going up and down now, $4,340.10 per ounce. That stuff is precious, is it not? Silver doesn't sell for anywhere near that, if I remember. It's somewhere around, what is it, $50?
It ain't much.
I didn't realize there was so much difference in it. Gold is what you need there. GM is going to be taking a loss. We can all see it. The government was really behind this, and GM fell for it, hook, line, and sinker. These EV cars, they're going to take a $1.6 billion loss. You know, GM was saying by 2035 you wouldn't own a car that ran off gasoline. Not so quick. Things have turned around, and, well, Americans just don't want them. When that $7,500 tax write-off ended, now the hybrids kind of sell. They've got gas, they've got electricity. Those seem to go pretty good, but the all-electric is not working as of yet. One day it will, again, as I've said, but not yet. In a moment, we'll talk about what's going on in Detroit. Things are picking up. Fox News. You ever watch that?
Oh, yeah.
Right now, it is by far, and it has been since about 2002, the #1 network. I got to give kudos to this guy. As I flip back and forth every now and then, the cable news network has taken over the big three, which would be CBS, ABC, and all that in ratings. By far. Jesse Waters. Y'all ever watched him? Him and Greg Gutfeld? Jesse has a little bit different delivery than the rest. He's kind of humorous with what he does. And this shocked me as I got into the ratings. Do you realize that his ratings are higher than Tucker's were?
Oh, wow.
I mean, really, it is. And you get into Greg Gutfeld, he has got the #1 night show, bar none. And what I'm talking about, all these, your Jay Leno shows, and I forget who's even got that now. Fallon, somebody like that. The guy that got to come back, Jimmy Kimmel. Kimmel, who came back, but Gutfeld destroys them in the ratings. Now, as you get into Hannity, he's strong, but he doesn't let anyone talk. Jesse does. And when Hannity has a guest, he asks him a question, and when they'll open their mouth to say, he cuts them off every time.
Yeah.
Again, I like him, but Jesse's a little bit better. His ratings are phenomenal as we look at that. Let's see what else is happening this morning. The guy that got accused of breaking in Beyonce's car, she was in Atlanta. They broke in and stole her music. Whoop, whoop, whoop. He's been charged with criminal trespassing. And it's going to be more charges, and I'm not real sure that they've gotten everything back. It's watermarked. What will he do with it? I'm not sure.
Did he steal it or put it in the car?
He stole it. Oh. That's what they say. I don't know what he was going to do with it.
Put it in somebody else.
That was the cowboy car. I don't know which, if it was the Country of the Rock that they got. Here's something that you're not going to like. Electricity bills are expected to climb this winter. Now, I also want to remind you, with all the hoopla and everybody jumping up and down and patting each other on the back in Meridian with this stuff coming in, your electric bills will go up. I don't want anybody to be fooled once this all happens. It's great that we're going to be getting new taxes for our county, but mark it down, your electric bills will climb. By how much, I don't know. Did I also mention your garbage bills are going to go up next year? Contact your local supervisor if you don't like that. They can fill you in on how they voted. Let's see here. Oh, we got a Wisconsin man in all kinds of trouble there. He was encouraging people, and I'll word it this way, to harm others that were federal agents. And when I say harm, I mean you know where I'm going with that. He's been arrested, and he should be. Chicago. This is the second time that I've seen this happen. As we start looking around America, and they've been really working hard to close the borders down and make sure everybody who is. We see a Chicago police officer has been arrested. You want to know why? He was an illegal alien. Did y'all hear me? I mean, seriously, that's number 2. What else is it that we don't know? He's going to be deported, and I forget what country he's from. My, oh my. A native of Monterrey. How do you say this? Monteneg. Monterrey. I can't say it. I knew there was a reason I didn't bring up the country he was from, because I couldn't pronounce it. It's okay. He's going back there, though, however you say it. Alaska. is working extremely hard. They've had a lot of flooding. We've got a lot of people that are in distress, and they're bringing in rescue victims by helicopter, plane. They're doing a major helping of these folks in this. We have people that have, 3 people in Michigan that have lost their lives in a plane crash. Awful, awful. This would happen in Bath Township. It happened late yesterday afternoon. Plane burst into flames and they lost their lives. We have good news, the long term, and I always did a 30-year mortgage when you're purchasing your home. That rate has dropped to 6.27. It would be nice to get it to 4, but hey, we won't complain. It is getting a little bit better. Yesterday, have you seen the video to it? It's floating around everywhere. Mitch McConnell. Now, what was it a few months ago that he was giving a speech and he just went dead? He froze and just stared at the camera for 60 seconds. Yesterday, he's walking down the hall and he just trips out of nowhere. Flop, hits the floor. They have to pick him up and carry him on. Again, there's a point. He's 83. Now, I know a lot of people that are 83, 84 that are in great health. They walk. They have no problems. I don't think we have this with Mitch McConnell. You have a lot of people that are in government, well, as we remember Biden, that are past their time. It's time for him to go home. Y'all know the governor of Illinois? You know who I'm talking about? They've looked at his taxes. He says he went on vacation with his wife and friends and walked into a casino and won $1.4 million in blackjack. Could you be so lucky? How much, and let me ask this, because you never know when it comes to a gambler. How much did they put up to win that?
Yep.
Did he win that? He may not even broke even.
Did he spend 1.5?
He could have spent 1.5 winning it. That happens a lot. And the only way to get your money back or close to it is to keep putting more and more in. We know that. This is getting better. It's not done yet, but Trump is going to meet with Putin. He'll also meet with Zelensky in Hungary. We hope this works out. One of the big topics that they will have will be those Tomahawk missiles. He really doesn't want to discuss that, but that is happening. As we look at this next thing, things are really starting to hum again in Detroit. Why? Everybody laughed at this, and this is just, it was not made up. It shouldn't be any shock to anybody. As Trump ran for office, he kept pushing, we are going to bring manufacturing back to America. Guess what's happening in Canada? They're starting to shut and starting to move back to Detroit. More jobs are being available, more money being made in America. Y'all remember Mark Carney, that guy there that threatened Trump? Hubba, hubba, hubba. They're having serious troubles in Canada now as their auto industry is, well, falling apart. Anybody ever really sat back and thought back all these years? You can go back to Ross Perot when he warned everybody, if you do this, we will lose jobs for Americans. And they've successfully done that. But slowly but surely, we're starting to see jobs come back to America. It's not overnight, but it's coming, slowly but surely. Let's see what else we've got here as we get into, and this is a very, very strong point, and I want this to sink in. How many of you watching, or how many of you have parents that live off Social Security? That's their only source of income that comes into their home. I bet there's a lot of hands that just got raised. Let me give you the numbers. The average American gets $1,200 a month off Social Security. Now, most of you worked 40, 50 years to get to that point. You're getting $1,200 a month, and you worked hard to get that. The average illegal alien that is in the United States within 50 minutes of being here gets $3,874 a month. They're not a U.S. citizen. They've never worked a day. They've never contributed to, FICA and all those other things. They suck everything out of your check. Let that sink in. An American earns $1,200 a year after working all their life. Someone who comes here, who's never contributed to anything, gets $3,800 a month. Let that sink in. Now, I don't care how you vote, Democrat, Republican, Independent. Maybe you don't vote at all. That's serious, y'all. It means we will run out of money. and it's not fair to the American person. It looks like California's got another issue there. They're getting fined $40 million. $40 million. Because they keep giving driver's license to people. I know it's tempting for me to turn on that camera. Greg's got that look of turn it off. I have not hit the button. Somebody was putting makeup on, and Greg gave me the look of do it. He said do it, and I did. I just wanted to say. But back to the story there. California getting fined $40 million for allowing people to drive trucks that are illegal. You got to read English. You got to be able to do this. We see people getting hurt every day by people who can't read the signs that are in English. This guy that is running for mayor of New York, y'all familiar? I can't pronounce his name. It's Mum something like that. Mamdani. Is that how you say it?
Kin to the guy from Jackson.
He wants to make busing, the bus fare. I don't know what it costs to ride a bus in New York. I've never been there. But I'm sure it's $2, $3 to ride wherever you want. He wants to make it free for everybody. You want to know what his plans are to allow that, where everybody can ride that free? He's going to raise taxes by $9 billion to do that. Now, that doesn't exactly add up mathematically, does it, to the person who's struggling to pay for their kids' education? Things are high in New York. That's going to make it worse. Let's just go ahead to another one. The guy running for mayor of Chicago. Are y'all up on this one here? If you own a business, here's his new plan to pay for more free stuff for other people. Anybody that's got a business that has over 100 people, you will now start being taxed $21 per person for your company that you hire. $21 you'll have to start paying each month. Each month. Now, if you've got a large company, that's a lot of money. Is going to get to the point to where you have to move out of these cities that are run this way. That's why so many people have been moving to Huntsville, Alabama. How many gun manufacturers have moved down there? They're starting to see that, well, the South ain't so bad. That Mason-Dixon line looks like we could make a profit. People voting with census. Here's something, and we'll get into the weather forecast after this. Greg Gutfield, I brought him up just a moment ago. Greg is a really, really funny guy. If you've never had a chance to watch their show, they cut up, and he just kind of tells the news point blank how it is. Are you familiar with this No Kings thing that's been going on, these protests around America? Basically, they're trying to run Donald down. Greg says, I love the No King thing, because its very existence proves it's not necessary. If there was a king-led country, you wouldn't be allowed to have your No Kings protest. I mean, what are you protesting? Spain, Denmark, and Cambodia? He's to the point. Makes a lot of sense with that. We'll be right back. Oh, I almost forgot this. Do you remember Stacey Abrams? Didn't she run for governor of Georgia? Her political group collapsed after it was fined $300,000 for ethics fines. It's gone bankrupt now. That's gone. We'll be right back with your weather forecast in just a moment.
For over 40 years, you've been able to count on Watt Equipment in DeKalb, Mississippi. They've got your Massey Ferguson's brand new 23 up to 135 horse cab and air tractors. They've got all your hay equipment needs, all your bush hogs. If your tractor needs it, they got it. Also remember, they service all makes and models, whether it's green, orange, blue, red, or yellow. They can get your parts in, they can do your service on your equipment. Don't forget Watt Equipment, DeKalb, Mississippi.
The Scotty Ray Report studio is sponsored by Environment Masters, providing hassle-free heating and cooling, plumbing, and electrical services since 1957, and now serving Meridian homeowners.
Your forecast is brought to you by EMEPA.
Our record highs and record lows back in 47. It was hot today. 92. We should see about 90 today. 31 degrees difference than what it is right now. Woo. Back in 1943, it was a cool 33 today. Well, the 40s were Record highs, weren't they? Here's our temperatures for today. Meridian coming in at 90, one of the highest points in the state of Mississippi. Yazoo matching us, 92 there in Greenwood. As we look up to Corinth, we're about 84 degrees as we go to Philadelphia, 89, and go south to Lucedale over to Laurel. We're seeing somewhere around 89. Down on the Mississippi Gulf Coast, look at that, 82 at Gulfport today. That ain't bad at all. What's going to happen tonight? Here's our lows as we'll see 64 in Meridian, 63 there in Philadelphia. As we get into Tunica, that area up there, North Mississippi, we'll see somewhere around 67. As we go south through Vicksburg, 65, all the way down to Gulfport, 71 for a low tonight. It'll be kind of warm there. Now, as we look to Bama, we'll see 88 in Demopolis, 85 in Birmingham, somewhere around 85 in Anniston, 82 coming out cooler in Auburn, Alabama today. They can practice football in the cool weather. That's what War Eagle. Here's what we've got so far that we're watching very closely. Now, this is really going to lead in from Sunday night and Saturday night into Sunday. We're looking at somewhere between 10 p.m. and 4 a.m. of severe weather possibility. Now, East Mississippi will most likely have a level 1. It could change a little bit. We're going to put that level 2 area there north of Eupora, taking in Tupelo, Clarksdale, those areas there, and anything north of Vicksburg. Our area should see a level 1, which would be damaging wind gusts of about 60 miles an hour, severe storms, and we should see some hail. Nothing too tragic there. We don't have any tornadic activity mentioned for East Mississippi. There's always that possibility when you get into that level 2. So we'll watch all of this closely. Here's what we got with temperatures still hot in South Texas. Mississippi still warm, not as bad as Texas, though. Our 7-day outlook as we move through this, 89 today. We'll see 89 tomorrow, almost a ditto. It's going to be perfect weather as we get into Buds and Burgers downtown Meridian. It's going to be fantastic weather for that. It will be way after dark into Sunday before we see that rain. And we'll see this backing off as you get into Sunday later in the day. Now, all this is going to happen in the overnight hours. We'll have a 20% chance of rain during Sunday. Might still be able to go throw some seed out. As we see Monday, 0% chance of rain, and then another 30% chance of rain back in the forecast on Tuesday to help out with those green patches. Not bad. We're hoping it'll happen there. Then we start seeing a temperature change there. 75 on Wednesday, 78 on Thursday as we go all the way to the end of the month, October the 31st. We're going to start seeing some 70-degree weather. Look at this as we get to the 30th. You might want to grab a small jacket for the kids when they do trick-or-treating on that night as we see a high that day of only 74. Nighttime lows somewhere between 48 50. So it'll have a little nip in the air for the hay rides. It'll make it feel like fall weather. I'm looking forward to that. Here's what we got when it comes to fishing today. Clarkdale Superette tells us you can go out about 9 a.m. this morning to 11 be your best times to fish. This afternoon, you got a slight chance of between 3:30 to 5:30. Still daylight then. Looks like our sunrise is bingo at 7 o'clock this morning. Sunset will last until 6:19. Let's check out your hunting forecast as we go all the way over to Wimberley Taxidermy. Let's see what's happening today. Perfect time. It's an average day, by the way. It's not anything special or blow your skirt up, but it's an average day of deer hunting. Well, I'll stay away from that. Calm wind becoming south around 5 miles an hour this morning. Perfect time today. Major times are going to be 9:01 to 11:01. Now, you've got another time this afternoon right before 4 o'clock, 3:56 to 4:56. So this puts it right there at dark 30 for great. Sunrise again at 7 o'clock, sunset at 6:19, an average day of hunting. What's happening here as we go to the tropics, we got two things out there, but nothing to worry about. A 10% chance of this becoming something that's moving away from the coast of America, the coastline, eastern coastline, and we got a 30% chance coming in here from Africa. It's not really going to affect the Gulf of America. We're still looking good on all of this. So let's go back and go over and take a look at live radar now of what we've got going on there. Take me a second to slide over the radar. As we look at this, we do have a little bit of fog south Mississippi as we look toward Louisiana, right there at the state line. We've got a little bit coming in around Picayune, Pearl River, Louisiana. Fog in those areas as you're going into Slidell. You'll see that big American flag before you hang that right-hand turn to go to Lake Pontchartrain. The rest of Mississippi, pretty clear. We don't see much going on. Chattanooga has some fog. We get up into the Carolinas, we see some fog there. Knoxville, we also see some. Barely into there. And as always, West Virginia, Charleston, those areas has a little bit of thick fog this morning and a frost advisory if you're up there. Nippy, nippy, nippy. But overall, look at America. looks great. Gulf of America looks good as well. Now, that's a look at your forecast. We're going to be back in just a moment. Boy, she's got it. Did you notice that? What do you call those shirts? Yeah, a preacher's collar. Julia's dressed to the nine. That girl. This is it.
She's been painting on it for an hour.
She's got her makeup on. We didn't show it. We'll be right back. Join us, won't you? The whole gang is here to kick off a fun Friday here at the Scotty Ray Report.